It's exit interview time for the IPL because teams are leaving early. What happened and what goes on next? So let's have a look at a couple of teams that are heading off. We use team maps to determine how a side performed in each game phase compared to the rest. The ratios tell us how much better or worse you are. A value of 1 is par. The higher the better. Although with these particular sides, there may not be all that much high. And these are true values that we're looking at for batting and bowling. The true values for batting and bowling have been weighted differently depending on which phase we're talking about. For instance, taking a wicket in the first over is much more valuable than one in the 20th. Striking 150 in the middle overs is pretty good, while doing the same at the death is below par.
If you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a 2-year contract with a discount, plus 4 extra months, plus gifts in some markets. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a blocker protects the stumps with NordVPN today.
Now on to the grim bit about how these two sides went at it this season. Mumbai Indians. Let's be really clear. Mumbai have taken 2 huge swings recently. They went for Jofra Archer, despite his injuries, and when that didn't work, they went for Hardik Pandya, who ended up getting booed by his own fans very early on this season. Say what you want about this franchise, they are putting all their chips in, and they're doing it with terrible hands. However, Jasprit Bumrah has had an otherworldly season. Mumbai have had the luxury of having bowled a good chunk of overs at the death, and Jarrod has also supported him well at the end of the innings. The middle overs batting has been the other main highlight, thanks to Suryakumar Yadav and Tilak Varma. Now, Wadira has also shown pretty good promise as well. But Hardik Pandya's form played a massive part in why Mumbai did not have a good season. And their worst phase with the bat was the death overs. Tim David did not create much of a difference either once teams realised that holding back a spinner would work quite well for them. Romario Shepherd made 32 runs in the 20th over of one game, and he got to play 2 innings after that. Even Rohit Sharma, who had a good start to the season, kind of tailed off a little bit after that. And he was getting the side off to good starts in the power play, but the dip in his performance meant that Mumbai ended up being below par in that phase all season long. Ishan Kishan scored quickly in the power play, but just didn't make enough runs. Mumbai were also below par with the ball in the first 16 overs of the innings. Their only bowler, apart from Bumrah, who took 10 wickets at an economy of under 10, was Piyush Chawla. The other Indian spinners were Shreyas Gopal and Shams Milani, neither of which really they seem to have any confidence in. Mohammad Nabi bowled 12.2 overs in 7 matches. And it's not that they don't have the players, right? Because in theory, they still have the best bowler, batter and all-rounder from India in T20s. But it did not work like that on the field. Tilak has been a consistent performer for them in this mega auction cycle, so Mumbai should try to retain or buy him back in the auction depending on what rules we end up with. They probably need to take a call on Rohit, who has not performed well in the IPL with the bat since 2017, in that he's been averaging 25 at a strike rate of 129, and he is 37 years old. And let's be honest, it seems like when they brought Hardik Pandya in, they kind of showed their Rohit intentions. What about Ishan Kishan? He's clearly a player they seem to have invested in for the long run. And if the retention rule allows for 5 players at least, he is probably certain to come back. They also have a terrific strike bowling option in Kotsia, but he's still learning his trade, so who knows what he will be like next year. Nuwan Tashara is another exciting fast bowling talent, but neither are locks. But they do have Bumrah, Sky and Hardik, and that is a great 3-man core to build around. And Tilak Varma should definitely be back. So this is not a bad core, although that might actually depend on which version of Hardik Pandya they end up getting. Of course, they could abandon all this and just take another huge swing and see how it all goes. The Punjab Kings had the real fake Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma, who have been their finds of this season. Both players have done an excellent job, particularly in the death overs. Harshal Patel picked up 20 wickets at an economy of just under 10, and he actually kept the flow of runs in control more or less in the second half of the season. This may not be one of his great years, but he's certainly been better than handy. Kagisa Rabada, Sam Curran, Arshdeep Singh, they've all taken wickets, but the latter two have conceded more than 10 runs per over. Despite having 4 bowlers who can take wickets, they are actually not a plus bowling team in any phase of the game. They don't concede a lot of runs in the power play, but they don't take that many wickets either. In the middle, Rahul, Chahar and Harshal are strike bowlers, while Harpreet has been very good on economy. They take a bunch of wickets at the death, but they also go for even more runs. Basically, they can take wickets and they can stem the flow of runs, but they can't do both things at the same time. Prab Simran Singh and Johnny Bairstow scored at a decent clip in the power play, but neither of the two scored runs consistently enough for top order batters. Jitesh Sharma, Liam Livingstone and Sam Curran's poor form with the bat made them below par when it came to the middle overs. Honestly, there were times when it just felt painful watching Jitesh and Curran. All things considered, they have a pretty solid Indian core that they could build around Shashank, Ashutosh, Harshal, Arshdeep, Brar and Jitesh. Livingston did not have a good season this time, but of course he had a good couple of years before this, and clearly they'll be thinking about keeping Rabada again because of his ability to bowl pretty much in every phase. But they certainly need to have more clarity, or even some clarity, on Curran's role if they want him to stick around before their mega auction. Also, what about Pt.1? He played 5 games this season and then sat out with injury, and he hasn't been with the team for the last few games. He turned 38 during this IPL, so Punjab are probably not going to retain him. So we're certainly going to see a new player up top. But let's just get back to that core of Shashank, Ashutosh, Harshal, Arshdeep, Brar and Jitesh. It's really nice, but none of those players are stars. So what this does is allow them to rebuild around role-playing Indian players. And it's not sexy, but let's be honest, when it comes to the Punjab Kings, nothing ever is. We'll be doing an exit interview for every side in this IPL, but we've also got a lot more content coming for the end of the season. So please like, subscribe, tell your mother about us.
If you make any content, Minvo Pro is the tool for you. Take your long format content and cut it and slice it for social media. This AI-inspired weapon will turn your one piece of work into so many clips. Try Minvo.pro now.